You won't want to miss this incredible story of loyalty, redemption, and divine purpose. Today, we bring to life the story of Ruth, an extraordinary tale that teaches us about faith reaching beyond borders. Picture this, a time of great hardship in Bethlehem. The land is parched, crops have withered, and families are left with nothing but despair. This is the backdrop for our story. In this setting, we meet Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and their 2 sons. They leave Bethlehem and migrate to Moab in search of food and a better life. Moab, a foreign land with foreign gods, marked the beginning of their trials. Life in Moab starts with hope, but soon turns into sorrow. Elimelech dies, leaving Naomi widowed. Her 2 sons marry Moabite women, Ruth and Orpah. For 10 years, there's neither joy nor children to fill their homes. Then, calamity strikes again. The 2 sons die. Imagine the heartbreak Naomi must have felt. No husband, no sons, a foreign land her only refuge. Naomi decides it's time to return to Bethlehem, having heard that God has ended the famine in his land. She turns to Ruth and Orpah, urging them to return to their families and rebuild their lives. With tear-streaked eyes, Orpah kisses Naomi goodbye. She chooses the familiar comforts of Moab. But Ruth, oh Ruth, her choice is unlike anything anyone expected. She clings tightly to Naomi and utters words that echo through history. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Think about the depth of Ruth's words. She is choosing the unknown, leaving behind her heritage and everything she knows. Ruth's loyalty is not just to Naomi, it's also to Naomi's God. So they journey together back to Bethlehem with nothing but their faith and each other to rely on. Back in Bethlehem, Naomi is barely recognizable to those who greet her. She tells them, "Call me Mara, because the Almighty has made my life very bitter." Naomi's name, meaning pleasant, is replaced by Mara, meaning bitter. Such is the depth of her grief. But Ruth begins to work in the fields to provide for them. She ends up gleaning in the field of a man named Boaz, who just so happens to be a relative of Naomi's late husband. Coincidence? Not in this story. Now, Boaz notices Ruth. He's heard of her incredible loyalty to Naomi. He tells her to keep gleaning in his fields and ensures that she is protected. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Ruth tells Naomi about Boaz. Naomi's face, once marked by sorrow, brightens as she devises a plan. According to Jewish custom, a redeemer from the family could restore their lineage and property, but only if Boaz would agree to take Ruth as his wife. Naomi instructs Ruth to wait until Boaz is resting at the threshing floor. Following Naomi's advice, Ruth approaches him, uncovers his feet, and lies down, a symbolic gesture requesting redemption and marriage. Boaz wakes, startled but touched by Ruth's actions. He praises her loyalty and kindness, promising to do his part if another closer relative relinquishes his rights first. The next day, Boaz addresses the matter in front of the town elders at the city gate. He explains the situation to the nearer relative, who declines, not wanting to jeopardize his own inheritance. This clears the way for Boaz to redeem Naomi's land and take Ruth as his wife. Ruth's journey, once marked by loss and despair, takes a turn into joy and restoration. But wait, the story doesn't end there. Ruth and Boaz have a son named Obed. And here's the kicker. Obed becomes the grandfather of King David, from whose lineage comes Jesus Christ. That's right. Ruth, a Moabite woman, a foreigner, is woven into the lineage of the Messiah. Ruth's faith and loyalty transcended borders and generations. Ruth's story challenges us to think beyond ourselves. It's about stepping into the unknown, trusting in God's plan, and sticking by those we love, even when the road is rugged and uncertain. It reminds us that no matter who we are or where we come from, God can use our story for His greater purpose. So what about you? What does Ruth's story stir in your heart? Do you see the beauty in loyalty and faith? Are you willing to trust God's plan, even if it leads you to unfamiliar places? Let Ruth inspire you to step out in faith today. The Bible is not just ancient text. These are living stories meant to shape our journey. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to share this story of Ruth with someone who needs to hear about faith beyond borders.